if anyone ever looks at my CV, it's like a giant red flag.
Why?
I've been at 7 different firms, including Brisan. My shortest stint was at a firm in London where I worked for 6 months. You find out very quickly that firm, as an example, very focused on, I don't want to use the words tax avoidance, but it was very untoward and it was unhealthy, toxic environment. I read a statistic years ago, people coming into the industry is declining, and there's a lot of people looking to leave the industry. Culture is a big thing, making sure that we're doing the right thing for the employees, and obviously building something that's attractive to new employees. I work with a lot of business owners. Sometimes the business owners are getting paid the least in their business. They're the ones getting the least sleep. I was speaking to someone, he actually runs an insurance brokers, and he said when he was at in his late teens or uni, he actually was a cleaner in a nightclub. He said he was getting paid like a couple of quid an hour, and he's gone, I was much happier scrubbing piss out of urinals. That is what he said to me. Just simple life. There's a lot of media saying AI is going to replace your job. It's still very human and relationship first. So whilst it's a support, it just doesn't beat a person who can then interpret it and explain it to you in a way you need to understand it. I've been in the industry, I think, 15 years, and I feel like now I have seen it all.
Hi, I'm Mark Costello, Chief Exec of Meshed. Welcome to our latest edition of When It Matters. So today I'm joined by Keeley from Brisan. Keeley, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a bit about Brisan?
Right, so yeah, Keeley from Brisan. So Brisan's been an evolution of family companies. So set up by my managing director's grandfather many years ago, I think 4 decades ago, under a different name. Went down the generations. Chris took hold of it in 2020, rebranded as Brisan, and then the evolution began, really. Completely trying to change the way things were done. In fact, I think they actually signed the lease on our building the day before that COVID was announced. So they'd signed the lease, got this amazing office. Next day, everyone's got to work from home. So got a few members of the core team from the previous branding. So yeah, we've got a really good team. I think we're at 14 now. And where do I start? So we do all your nice stuff that accountants do, and I'm sure we'll get into it, but I think the the landscape has changed hugely, dramatically, and what we've really seen is people just wanting so much more from their accountants. So that's essentially what the brand of Brisan is just targeted to deliver. Just making sure people just have good information. Compliance has got so much easier now when you look at digital accounting. So essentially, there's a lot more information. It's quicker to get it, and people actually just want advice.
I get that. So I will come to that, but going back to what you said about signing the lease and COVID, the lockdown being announced the next day, has that work from home stayed part of the culture of the business, or are you now all back fully in the office?
Yeah, no, so we're very flexible. We've got a very female-dominated company.
Right.
Yeah, we're girl power, obviously.
Good.
Because we're so flexible, it attracts that environment. So we do hybrid working, flexible working, part-time. Generally, Monday is our busy days. Everyone's in the office, and then it's kind of led by who's in the office. If we've got clients in the office, people work in, but we're very flexible. It's a central location. It's a nice office, so it's good when people are in there.
Yeah.
Probably like every office, parking's a bloody nightmare. So great to have everyone in the office, but yeah, good luck finding a parking space.
I think
that's really important. I've got friends in the industry who are with other companies, and it's very much must be in the office, must have a suit and tie on, and must see you're working, and no flexibility.
So I mean, I worked in an environment. I wore a suit every day. Dressed down Friday was not wearing a tie, but still wearing a suit. And the thought of getting back to wearing a fucking suit every day, I couldn't do it.
I mean, so I joined the company in 20 23, I was looking at different firms, interviewing, and I thought, yeah, same thing. As well as lockdown. After lockdown, I was like, I'd never want to wear
Yeah.
like
Dress
office
shoes
clothes.
and
Oh God, no. And Chris had actually sent an email to the recruiter that she forwarded on to me, and it essentially said, "Oh, like, it's jeans and hoodies here." And I actually had interviews booked later that day. I cancelled all of them. I then met with Chris in jeans, trainers, and yeah, it just the instant vibe. I was like, this is a bit of me. I was so happy with how it went and how I felt about the firm. I obviously got on with Chris really well. My wife and I actually went out for a celebratory dinner later that night. I hadn't even been offered the job, and I was like, I'm not saying like as a cocky way like that. I just felt so good about that environment, and it sort of solidified in my head. Okay, if this doesn't work out, this is what I'm vibing with.
I get that. So you've been in counting and or in the industry before you joined Brisan
Yeah,
then?
that's a bit of if anyone ever looks at my CV, it's like a giant red flag.
Why?
So I've been at 7 different firms,
Yeah.
including Brisan. I've other than working in retail as a Saturday girl
Yeah.
many years ago, I've always been in accountancy. Very driven and not wanted to stay with a company too long who I don't feel like culturally is the right fit for me. So for multiple reasons, if I never saw myself growing and going up in that environment, I'd leave. And as well, I always saw it as the quickest way to get a pay rise, which I think is still the case. It really is. My longest stint was at a firm for 5 years, and my shortest stint was at a firm in London where I worked for 6 months. And you find out very quickly that firm, as an example, very focused on. I felt was. I don't want to use the words tax avoidance, but it was very untoward. And it just, it was unhealthy, toxic environment. So so that's sort of my history as such. Been at some really good firms. That firm I was at for 5 years. I sort of felt like I
Got as far as you could.
got as far as I could, and possibly I loved it there to the point where I don't think I've ever left anywhere and felt like really crying on my last day.
Yeah.
And then went somewhere else, and then really felt like I was seeking that kind of culture again, that it was just a really nice environment. And I'm a big advocate for that firm still. I think they're really great. Just things change. I've moved, so, and always looking for that healthier environment where there's that opportunity and modern day thinking as well.
So I don't think it is the red flag that you've moved 7 times, right? I think historically that was the case. If I was employing somebody at 30 now and they'd had one job, I would think, well, first of all, am I going to get somebody who just can't change from the culture they're used to?
Yeah, and actually, when I'm looking at CVs now, I will give more attention to those that have had some moves, because I generally see that as a good sign, for that same reason. But I know from when I've looked, that's always the question, because if you're going via a recruitment agent, it's a lot of money to invest in someone.
Yeah.
Recruitment agents, you got your good and your bad ones, but you just know they call up on the first day just to check they've turned up. 5 minutes later, invoices in your inbox.
Yeah.
But I do see it as a good thing, because you take someone who's been at a firm for 10, 15 years, especially if you know of firms in the industry, you think, oh, they're going to have those culture, the way they work. I know it's difficult for them. They obviously want to break away from that.
Yeah.
But again, risk for the business.
Yeah. So do you now, your role now, you feel you've got a chance to actually influence the culture? I think everybody does, but you feel like you're helping drive the culture now.
Yeah, absolutely. So essentially what's happened is, so Chris has, he's working really close with a client. So so he's our managing director. So he's very much involved in the strategy of the company. We get together for monthly board meetings. But he's promoted Kylie internally, so we're both essentially directors running the firm.
And Kylie, who I met Kylie
Yes,
with you at
yeah.
Digital Accountancy Show,
Yeah,
didn't I?
so very much we like to go out and have fun at things like DAS, ZeroCon, and so we get to do some fun stuff. But yeah, I think very much focused on, whilst we all want to operate efficiently, just making sure we're all on the right track, and I think culture is a big thing, making sure that we're doing the right thing for the employees, and obviously building something that's attractive to new employees. I read a statistic years ago that I think people coming into the industry is declining, and there's a lot of people looking to leave the industry. As a package, like, it's not all about money, but we offer something I think really good. So like really good holiday, the flexible working, etc. And that's all really important to your culture.
I agree. I think that if you're trying to set up a business, or you're focusing on, you've got to be in the office. Like, well, for a kick-off, I think anybody with young children, that's now a problem.
Yeah.
So my daughter was 2 when the pandemic kicked off, and I got to spend all that time with her, and I've worked from home ever since. I'm probably away from home 2 or 3 days a week, but it gives me that chance to actually be a parent, and it's not just down to my wife to do it. So I don't think it's just, or it shouldn't just be mothers that are attracted to flexible working. It should be everybody.
Yeah, and we're very much we're so open to that, and I hear all these horrible stories of people, like I think men in particular, when they are employed and they try to be flexible, because it shouldn't all be on the mother.
No.
Some of the reactions are like, well, haven't you got a wife? And it's like, well, that's ridiculous. It's like this old way of thinking, very narrow-minded, and that stuff sticks, and it sort of, that's why people move on.
Well, last time I checked my watch, it wasn't 1955.
Yeah, right? Exactly. So things are changing, and we're happy to sort of be leading that.
Superb. And the what type of customers does your business attract? And do you think that your culture affects the type of customers you do attract?
Yeah, definitely. So I think I've actually got it on the page of our website now. I wasn't allowed to write it in full, but it's like no BS.
Yeah.
So very much no bullshit.
Yeah.
I think through that and through recommendation, etc., we've probably got 90% of our client base is construction. I think because we have that no bullshit attitude, plus we know how they work, we understand them really well. They all like work so closely together, so they all recommend us, and we've grown massively through organic recommendation. And they all hate the fucking accountants, so it just bodes so well. So already, like, I feel like our service level is up here, and for them the bar is so low.
Yeah.
Like, and we have had clients who, like an example, someone moved from us because, okay, we're not the cheapest. They come back. It's brilliant. You think like a lot of people, it'd be like tail between the legs kind of thing, and or people are too embarrassed to go back, but they're like, actually, we've looked elsewhere, and this is exactly, and it is what it is. So, over the past year, we've probably lost 3 clients for pricing who have all come back.
Oh, if it's not just one, then that's amazing.
Exactly. I mean, it's not, losing clients isn't great, but we take on new clients who their accountants just make the whole handover process so difficult. We never want to end things that way, so everything from start of the relationship to the end of the relationship, we'd like to maintain it amicable, and I think hopefully that's why people, if they ever do need to leave, they will come back.
Amazing. Yeah, so funnily enough, I was speaking to another accountancy firm last week, and they were talking about accountants, like when they're changing who's in control on the system, like accountants try and just cause problems with that.
Like client managers or moving people around? Yeah, people really like.
I mean, what's that going to achieve?
What do you mean, like changing their client managers and stuff
No,
like
no.
that?
So like changing the controls on Zero or QuickBooks or whatever.
Oh yeah, like so.
Changing over the journal and whatever, and
Yeah, like restricting clients,
yeah.
restricting. Yeah.
What's that going to achieve?
I don't know. I've also like had an issue in the past week with So I've got a client that we consult on, so we don't do their compliance and stuff like that. But we do like advisory fractional FD work on, and the accountant has sort of been a bit shifty about stuff. I'm getting emails from all these different people at their firm, but they've got like a single log on. So I've turned around and gone, you're asking me all these questions from these different people. I don't know who's on the case. You've only got one log on. So I was like, are you password sharing on this Zero account, which you don't, there's unlimited users on Zero.
Yeah.
Don't need to do. And then they've come back with a really ambiguous response and gone, oh, we've only got access via this email. And it's like, well, you've never asked for any more access. And I think there's no traceability from our side.
Yeah.
I don't know their policies. I don't know if they're using a password manager or anything. It's like, I get the ick big time. Yeah. And I think I deal with clients as well that their accountants, the clients are managing Zero. The accountants they want the print-offs from Zero to do their accounts.
Oh, so they're that far in the past.
Yeah, and I feel like I've seen it all. I've been in the industry, I think, 15 years, and I feel like now I have seen it all.
So you do the fractional CFO piece, you do the bookkeeping piece if that's what they want, and you do accountancy if they want that. Is that how you work?
Yeah, so basically from your start to your finish, the only thing we don't do is audit.
Right.
That being said, we can handle it, and we work with an external firm to basically, they have to do their bit. Audit's very boring. It's just an expensive compliance thing that no one wants to pay for.
Yeah.
I don't think we've got any interest in actually doing that as a part of our business. But yeah, so from start to finish, we're also collaborating with another firm who are more focused in that fractional industry, which has been really good, really exciting. And there's like a fear that you can't speak to other accountants or they're a competitor. And I'm sure you see it in your industry, but actually
nobody collaborates in the insurance industry.
No,
nobody.
And it's mad really, because everyone's going to have their specialisms.
Yeah.
And you think, well, if there's something that comes up that's really odd that you do have to pass on to someone else, you know what, they're going to think of you later down the line when they have something that they can't handle. So collaborating with this business, Cypro Financial Consultancy, who are brilliant, and looking at working with some smaller accountants, certainly for them actually more to support us with the Making Tax Digital staff, and perhaps we can support them with their larger clients as well.
So I'll tell you how bad it is in our industry.
Go on.
We've worked with an accountant down in Western-super-Mare. Great guy called Neil Criddle, you might have seen.
I have
NDC.
seen him on LinkedIn. Yeah. He's got blue and orange logo as well.
Yeah, he has. Yeah. And anyway, Neil sent me one of his customers and says, "Can you help this guy with insurance?" Basically, what the guy does is like he's a blacksmith, but he's not really a blacksmith. He does kind of like experience days where people can go and like behave like it's the 1850s and put in, shoehorns and all that stuff.
Have bad employment law and things like that.
Yeah, and the guys, it's like 10 grand a year. It's a charity almost, right? It's a lot of experience day. So I was like, we don't do that. So I done a bit of research, found a broker, sent the guy's details with a covering email explaining to the broker what the guy needed. The guy got sorted out with that broker. Broker never even sent me a thank you email.
Oh, really?
Nothing. And you're like, what?
It's just so rude.
Yeah, it just is so rude.
I'm really lucky. Some people I sent a referral to a financial advisor. I don't even think the business has been put with them. I came in yesterday to the office, bottle of wine on my desk.
Nice.
And I was like, that's a nice bottle of wine.
Was it a good one? Yeah.
It was very good Sauvignon. If anyone's listening.
That like serving you on, yeah.
Yeah, but I just felt like that's such a nice touch.
Yeah.
And we want to try and do more stuff like that and thank people. Like we do referral discounts and loyalty discounts for our clients as well. Which I think from probably most, I don't think many accountants offer loyalty discounts.
No, I don't know, yeah.
Because in reality, I mean, the longer we work with someone,
yeah,
the easier it does get for us.
Yeah.
So, why shouldn't we offer that?
Yeah, no, I totally get that. So, as we sit here today, it's is it the 16th of January?
Yeah.
So it's crazy season in personal tax returns.
Yeah.
I bet you loved doing personal tax returns.
I'd be happy if I never had to do another one again, to be honest. And I don't know if Making Tax Digital is going to stop this craze, this January craze. We've got a deal at Brisan. It's never happened. I don't know if it will happen this year, next year. If we get all our tax returns done by, I can't remember if it was November or December, we're all going to go to Barbados in January.
What?
But I'm here. I'm not in Barbados, so it's not happened. So I don't know. Maybe next year.
But then it's totally reliant on the customers getting it done, right? There's only so much pushing you can do.
Yeah.
Right?
So my suggestion in my first tax season at Brisan was, we'll just sack all the clients.
Go to Barbados.
Yeah. That doesn't count. It's but yeah, mate, it's a nice. I think it's a nice idea.
Yeah.
We're in reality, but yeah, it's not fun. Like where we do all like our social media and marketing and stuff. I was supposed to do loads of like Happy New Year stuff, and I feel my new year doesn't start until February.
Still first of February.
Yeah, so we're sort of in this phase of New Year for us will start in February. We'll go out for January celebrations in February. It's very like you say, it's so reliant on people giving the information.
100%. And has tech made that any easier, do you think?
Yeah, so particularly if clients are on zero, the record's there. It does make it a lot easier to get the information, using things like Dext, Apron, to analyse it all.
Yeah.
There's so much out there that can make it so much easier. The biggest challenge is getting the information. So, if you've not got it, you can't use the tech. So,
yes.
Yeah, we're very driven by that, but frustrating. We haven't got many. I think yesterday I was aiming to get to 30. Don't know if we're quite there yet, but 30 to go.
So you deal with a lot of builders, right? And if you're doing personal tax returns for builders, I've got loads of mates that are builders.
Yeah.
And like they've probably matured a bit now. But I remember meeting one of my mates who won't say his name, and he had like 2 Tesco bags just full of receipts.
Yeah.
And I was like, where are you going? He's got my accountant to do my... I went, have you totaled them up for him? He said, no.
Why would he do that?
I mean, he's an accountant. He's not a calculator.
It sounds really mean, but that would go to like...
Yeah.
We get a lot of work experience students in, and I think...
Yeah.
That's the thing is now, because you've got so much tech, if you get a junior or a work experience student, they've not suffered the way that...
You suffered when you started.
Like when a few of us at the firm used to have to do that stuff. So it's like, actually, that's a good experience for them.
Yeah.
Probably don't feel it at the same time, but we don't get a lot of that. A few years back, we had one that the records were horrific, to the point where the next day, this junior, he came in with gloves on. Or he was the things that were on these receipts. I'm going to say it, but he lifted up a receipt, gone, oh my god, there's a bogey on it. It was horrific, and I was just like, oh, I'm so glad. Thank fuck that's not me. And he was like, another lady was having to go over to him and squirt anti-bac on his hands, and we were putting it all onto zero for them. I don't know if they ever were going to get onto zero, but I mean, even if people are using spreadsheets, people don't know how to use spreadsheets. They'll put in a number and then writing in the same cell, and they don't add up, or
Yeah.
if I knew what I knew now, I don't know if I'd be an accountant. But yeah.
So on that personal bit though, right? Like, I know that being that self-employed, but you can save a wee bit on tax. But really, is it worth the hassle? You're as well having a
What
job.
being self-employed? I work with a lot of business owners, whether you're self-employed, running a business of employees. Sometimes the business owners are getting paid the least in
Yeah.
their business.
Oh, I've been there.
They're the ones getting the least sleep.
Yeah, stressing about
It's
paying everybody else.
I was speaking to someone and he runs like he actually runs an insurance brokers. I don't know if he's quite a competitor, but and he's got similar amount of employees, and he said like when he was at like in his late teens or uni or something like that, he actually was a cleaner in a nightclub.
And he was making more money.
No, he wasn't making. He said he was getting paid like a couple of quid an hour, and he's gone. I was much happier scrubbing piss out of urinals. That is what he said to me. And yeah, just simple life. But yeah, like you say, like possibly. But do you think you could ever go back to working for someone else?
No.
Yeah.
No. I don't. No, but I do think with the personal tax thing, like, if you've got a limited company, you know, you're as well just paying your, because everybody's into that. I'll just pay myself 12 grand a year, and then, and you're like, really, I don't know if it's worth the hassle to go to that.
Yeah, but then you take your dividends.
Exactly.
To be honest, if you're a basic rate taxpayer, the difference between being self-employed and running a limited company, there's not a lot in it.
No.
And I've actually met people who their last accountant made them limited, but I was like, you're paying more. And I was like, do you know who this is great for? It's great for the accountant.
Yeah.
Because they're getting limited company fees. They're getting your tax fees. Oh, you need a payroll. Oh, that's more money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes it's not better, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it is. I think the tax system does need simplified, right?
Probably needs a rebrand. I think.
If
people get their back up, rebrand tax.
Yeah.
I think there's like some Scandinavian countries where the tax is really high, but you actually get loads for it.
Oh, you do, yeah.
You get like both parents when they have a kid being able to take like a year off and stuff like that, and
yeah, and if you get made unemployed, you get the same wages for a year as you were getting when you were working. And
yeah,
stuff
exactly.
Like that.
Yeah, the whole tax thing it's complicated.
Yeah, it's too complicated.
I speak to people who have moved from America and they go, "Oh, your tax system's really simple."
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, the government website's brilliant." And you're like, "Is it?"
Yeah. Because they pay two taxes, right? They pay state tax and federal tax.
Yeah.
And like, if you live near the border of a state, the state tax on that side of the state is cheaper than that side and everything. Yeah. And yeah, I'm never quite sure where I stand in tax. I just pay it and hold my nose and just like
hope your accountant knows what he's doing.
hope my accountant's doing a decent job. Yeah. And on that decent job and all of that, you've got. So I think tech can only affect personal tax so much, right?
Yeah.
What about tech and business? Do you think it can make a huge difference, and what do you see it doing going forward?
I've already seen, like, from when I started, a dramatic change.
Yeah.
If you think that you can get... There's running a report off zero and then there's having management accounts. I feel like they're two different things. But you can actually... If you're just looking at cash in and out of the business, you can get that so quickly. I was speaking to someone the other day who said that they've joined something called the AI Finance Club. And apparently they were able to put a report in from zero, and through AI it's built like a 5-year forecast, built it into presentation, like phenomenal.
What was that called? AI
Finance
Have
Club?
you had a look at it yet?
Yeah, I looked. It was like £1,000 to join. I was like,
right,
I'm just gonna like mull over that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nice to know. But you think from years ago with plugging in numbers, that was taking up all this time, but actually now we can get reports, we can get information, we can get all this stuff to help decision making.
Yeah.
And we're bringing it in as much as possible. It's an aid. I think there's a lot of media saying AI is going to replace your job.
It's not.
It's still very human and relationship first. So whilst it's a support and it can do all this lovely stuff,
Yeah.
it just doesn't beat a person who can then interpret it and explain it to you in a way you need to understand it, and then help you make your decisions that way.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think that there's all this doom-mongering. I mean, I don't know if you know Dave Selleck, but I seen him.
He was at Zero Roadshow.
He was one of the speakers, right?
I think because I went and then I remember getting out of that seminar thing and I messaged Kylie. I was like, I've just seen some witchcraft on AI, pulling stuff into a management account model, sending it to the client with an email, like all done via just some asking ChatGPT how to do it.
Yeah,
like sending zaps and stuff. It's really, I think it's scary for a lot of people, and it's and that possibly stops people from looking at it. We did have a little bit of a fear when it came to AI, but now we feel like, you know what, let's just roll with it.
Yeah,
let's do what we can, what's going to help us, what's going to help our clients. If something new comes out next week, we'll look at that and build on it.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think that, I mean, there's no getting away from the AI will make it as more efficient, right? But if you went back, if you think about your customer bank and you think if you just took all of the tech out of the business now, including email, how many staff would it take to run your business now? Double, treble the amount. I mean, when I started in as an insurance guy, whenever it was, 25 years ago or whatever, there was about 150, 180 people in the RSA Rawson Alliance office in Glasgow. There's now 20, and there's still as much premium going through that office as there ever was.
If not more.
Yeah. Well, do you know that they all will say that the car industry in the UK is dead, but we still make more cars a year now than Dagenham did in the 1970s.
Wow.
It's much more efficient than it ever was. I think it's a natural thing that progresses, but there still is people building cars, and they're higher paid.
My granddad used to work in that factory.
Right.
Literally, all he was doing was putting in windscreens.
Yeah.
But he said that's what you would do. And he said if you wanted a toilet break, you couldn't have one because it's just a perpetual thing.
Yeah.
So he actually said, luckily he's retired now, he actually said you would smash a windscreen by accident.
To stop everything.
To stop it, just so you go have a quick wee.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's mad.
Yeah.
And you kind of think, no wonder why this has been automated.
Yeah, exactly.
So I know obviously that means there's less jobs for people, but I think if you look at what jobs and roles are available now, there are still jobs available, but different kinds of jobs.
Yeah.
If you look at the tech industry, and there's more opportunities for people, and if people are having kids now, their kids might be working in an industry or a role that hasn't even been thought of yet.
I think that there's a very good chance of that, right?
Yeah.
A very good chance of that. So my point on the tech bit, and go back to what we're just discussing, I seen Dave getting involved in a spat on LinkedIn with some American company who says you can pay them $40 a month and that's you get a CFO, and you're like, you just don't, right? You just don't. Because, like, especially most people who run businesses are like the guy who's a managing director, chief exec, or whatever. If they're the person that built that business from scratch, they're an entrepreneur, right?
Yeah.
Like, the CFO's got to tie them down to get messages into their ear. A system can't do that.
No, and it's still very reliant on putting the information in or getting the information
out. Yeah, 100%. 100%. So you deal with a lot of construction customers.
Yeah.
Have you seen any tail off in work, or are they all still flying?
I think for some it's peaks and troughs.
Yeah.
I know certainly like December's tough for them because it's usually a shutdown month.
Yeah.
I've got a friend who I think he was like being hounded to start work, but then he was conscious, well, if I start the work now, you're all like the company he was working for, you're all going to piss off for 2 weeks. I'm not going to get paid. My lads are going to need paying.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think the biggest thing for them is also cash flow.
Yeah.
Real peaks and troughs. You see, I think the smaller ones, they go through periods of, they're really busy, but then it tails off.
Yeah.
And then they're impacted for, like, certainly if they're below that VAT threshold.
Yeah.
When they go up past that VAT threshold, it's a different game, because when you're working with the Joe Public, your demand's going to tail off because you've got to charge VAT, which is obviously also really tough. I think January's a bit difficult, but then it ramps up. We've got some clients who they have their main business, so like whether it's aircon or plumbing or electrical, they'll then have like facilities management businesses, so you get that. I think the key thing is, if you can build up that recurring income, that recurring customers, then that certainly helps the peaks and troughs.
Yeah, but like there's all this doom chat about the economy, right?
Yeah, I think there always is.
There always is, but I don't see it. Like my personal experience of the business owners I speak to, they're all busy.
Yeah, everyone is really busy.
But,
And I think even if someone's worried, like about work coming in and stuff, like there's still work there.
Yeah.
I'll speak to people and they're like, oh, it's all dried up. The next week, oh, I'm run off my feet.
Yeah.
And, I don't know. I think people do thrive off of that industry.
Yeah.
And you think even if you're actually a bit more quiet, then maybe that's the time where you should be thinking, well, take the time if you can, to think, okay, well, how can I
not get to the 29th of January and panic about my tax return?
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah. Maybe answer those emails from your accountant.
Yeah.
That, and prioritise that.
Yeah.
And then worry about your business.
Yeah. So you said that your customers are looking for more and more. One of the things that, I mean, this is my view, but when I look across the accountancy landscape, I'm thinking, you know exactly what everybody pays for everything, right? That being a real value add seems like a natural step. That
I feel like I know where this is going.
Well, yeah, you know where that's going, right? But it just feels like they just don't really. Most accountants don't want to do it.
Yeah, and that's the thing, particularly if you're that accountant that you're doing accounts from 8 months ago, that you can't give that advice. And I do speak with a lot of people about reviewing their costs, helping them understand, oh, I'm not making any money, where's all my money going? So yeah, like reviewing, okay, well, your insurance has gone up massively.
Yeah.
Why has it gone up? And then it's like, oh, we've not bothered we just renew every year. We don't
think about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where, you guys would come in.
Wait, well, we might. Yeah.
I had a client who was like, same thing, but on marketing, they were spending like 30 grand a year managing their own Google ads. So it was like, well, how much business are you getting from Google? And I think then they worked out, they were like, oh, we're actually getting $250,000 of business. And they were like, that's brilliant.
So the 30 grand doesn't seem like a big bill anymore.
I was like, but your margins don't cover 30 grand.
Ah, yeah.
And it was like having that analysis.
Yeah.
Just opens up, you have the information. So then they ended up getting someone in to do it. They spent less, took it off their plate, and they're actually, even if you do that and get the same return on investment, you're winning.
Yes.
Yeah. But insurance is one I speak to people a lot. I actually had a client who was an insurance broker, done their accounts, and they were like, why has our insurance gone up so much? And I was like, are you joking? But they were a general insurance broker, and the thing that had gone up the most was the medical insurance.
Ah, right.
And the director's going, it's the only fucking thing we don't write.
Yeah.
But then I'm explaining to the guy, I was like, you've got an aging workforce. Like, it is going to go up. I don't know how many claims people are having. I don't know how you can find that out. It's like, it's like, you're an insurance broker. I shouldn't have to explain this to you.
Yeah.
Like, risk? No. But yeah, I assume they reviewed it then. But
it's funny. I do think that I can actually see that the account, and you see more and more people are leaning into that and call it you want, external finance department, a CFO in a
Yeah.
box or whatever it is. That kind of feels like, I think in 10, 15 years, that'll be the norm, and I think compliance is a standalone thing that's going
Yeah,
to struggle.
and I think really if your accountant, if you're not spotting it, then I strongly feel your accountant should possibly, if they're doing things for you regularly, these are the things they should be picking up.
Yeah.
And they should be making introductions to you guys at Meshed, or looking at,
There's loads of different things, right? It's not
yeah,
just
absolutely.
us, yeah.
On the flip side, I think if you're paying a cheap fee, only paying for compliance, I think you need to understand what you're paying for with your accountant, and don't expect that. But I feel like if you're working on a client throughout the year, looking at their zero, doing their bookkeeping, if you're not spotting that and telling your client and having those conversations, another accountant will. And that's where I think people expect a lot more from their accountant now. But yeah, so we've got the power to do all that, and the collaboration, and so use it.
Do you come under attack from other accountants trying to steal your customers that often? Is that a thing?
Not, I wouldn't say really. I think it's a really competitive market.
Yeah.
If we've ever had, when I've ever worked with a client and they're like, oh well, this person's offering this for £100 a month, it's like, okay, bye then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or I speak to people and they go, oh, my accountant's doing all this stuff and he's charging me £100 a month. And I'm like, you're getting a really good deal.
Yeah. Enjoy.
Yeah, exactly. It's competitive. I will admit, we know we have managed to take a number of clients through from like a single accountant, but only because
you get one and then
like we'll get a client who's been recommended them, and they went to the same their friend went to the same accountant, and then suddenly they're all having the same shit experience with the same accountant. So it's like, oh, well, we know these accountants, they don't speak to their clients, or we know these accountants charge shitloads of money and give fuck all service. So then it's like, oh, we know where your failures are, so we just need to shout about where we're different. But yeah, I think it can be a bit cutthroat, but equally, like I said, like we're collaborating with some, so
yeah. And then, so a couple of last final things then. We've talked a lot about culture, and it clears from when we chatted before recording this and this, that's a big thing for you personally.
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you feel that bringing younger people into the business works, and what are the challenges they bring in?
Other than making me feel older, or bringing someone in and reminding someone that, oh, you could be their mum. It's good. We've got some good banter in our office, but it's really important. So I mean, over the past 2-3 years, we really want to build people up. So we've had a couple of people in for work experience that we then offer roles, put them on apprenticeship schemes.
So you do the training for them and everything?
Yeah. So we usually put them onto like a local training provider, really good opportunity. We've got a junior at the minute, Lenny. I think 2024 he came for work experience in December, and it, like, personality wise, I was like, oh, he's brilliant. He's chatty. He really like shines. It was so good. We were like, do you want to come on our Christmas party? Apparently he was out with the team till 5 a.m. And then an opportunity come up. I was like, I'm going to give Lenny a call. I wonder if he's still looking after leaving uni. And he came on. And we really want to recycle that and build people up. And I think it's really important. Obviously, the great to retain staff, but equally, I think it's a really good thing to encourage people. And actually, where I've been at so many other firms, Brisan's probably the best firm it is the best firm I've been at, so I know that if they did want to leave, if they went to another accountancy firm, I'd like to think they'd
You come
regret
back.
it. Yeah.
Well,
So
your
yeah.
customers have come back, so
Yeah, absolutely. And not, yeah, I think it's hard to compete with that culturally.
and then plans for 26. Anything big on the pipeline?
Oh, yeah, there is. Some of it I can't say what's happening,
Oh
but
dear.
yeah, so watch this space. So yeah, we're going for ACCA approved employer. So again, that helps with that getting people in and being an attractive employer, getting people like their practicing certificate signed off. Got quite ambitious growth plans. Yeah, got a few events coming up that we're hosting. So we're a sponsor at Maidstone Football Club. So we host quarterly events there, which we branded Brisan Business Club. They're getting really popular.
Amazing.
Yeah, we love hosting them. And yeah, so more stuff like that. Get out for a few team events. That's like the basic stuff, but lots of growth, a lot more opportunity. So yeah, maybe more bums on seats by the end of the year as
Very
well.
good.
Yeah.
So if
So
the big thing you can't talk about happens, you might come back on and tell us about it
yeah,
once it's
yeah, I will.
happened.
Yeah, you'll be one of the first people to know, and I'll yeah, come back on and we'll talk about this new thing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, listen, thank you very much for your
Yeah.
time.
Thanks for having me.
It's been great. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you.